gonna tell you that I grew up with Red Omen, and boy was he a neat kid. He had all sorts of really cool things to play with, like a plutonium spaceship lunchbox and a bathtub full of Lego. And I didn't believe you when somebody said that he fled with Jimi Hendrix to a UFO type base camp up on Machu Picchu. Up on Machu Picchu.
Welcome to Indie Music Live, episode 136. I am not wearing any pants, and neither is Dave, which is the funny thing, so we didn't plan that. Welcome, Mr. David Happy Ending Werba. Tonight he's got a new background. It looks like he's in a Chinese restaurant or something. Where are you, Dave?
You're right, actually. A massage parlor is right behind this little divider here.
I'll let you say that.
Yeah, no, it's a side business, and it's working out very well. That's all I have to say about that. Yeah.
I don't want to talk
very
about
happy system, I'll tell you that.
Speaking of Asian massages, hey, we got Omega Sparx in the house tonight.
Hey!
Visiting us. How you doing tonight, man?
What's up, guys? I'm doing great. What's going on, happy people?
Yeah, doing good. You said you're going to school tomorrow. What does that mean?
Oh, man, it means backpacks and protractors and, rulers, and I'm finishing up some stuff and about to go get my master's, man.
Well, it sounds like you and Dave need to hook up with all those tools.
Speaking of tools, back to JoeJoeKeys.
So we've got some great music tonight. We have Ed Roman's featured artist. We'll be talking to him in just a little bit. We've played his music on here before. I've actually played, I think, 2 songs of his. One was a video, and then the other one was the lyric video they're going to check out again tonight. But he's in Canada. And Rob Hicks is hitting the funny buttons all night long. I'm a little distracted right now. Sorry. Why does Facebook always decide that it needs to update on Tuesday nights right at 10 o'clock? I don't understand.
They're watching you.
I don't get it.
Right.
Anyway, let's check out. Oh, this is a band we've heard before. Ben Cote Band just came out with a new album. Ben actually just graduated from Berkeley, and now he's actually a real musician.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. But I'll tell you my thoughts here in a minute, but just think cherry pie for me while you're listening to this song. Ben Cote Band would get your licks in. Let us know what you think in the comments. Share this video out. We'll be right back.
She's a country girl with a city of dream. Like everyone else, she wants fortune and fame, so she came to the city where the devils play. A sexy girl, this isn't your scene unless you're willing to play, if you know what I mean. City of angels, city of lights. She's the night letters that are touching the sky. Baby, watch it all drip down. See it all over this town. This world is gonna make you drown. Darling, can you hear the sound?
that little Benny boy, he's getting pretty good. He's going to be with us in October with his drummer, whatever his name is. I don't know the drummer's name, but they're going to come as a couple or something. So,
Oh, wow.
inside joke. I don't know. Inside joke in my head that nobody else is going to get. That was Get Your Licks In. Just the artwork, man. The artwork that they've been going for. I mean, you know, Ben likes to tote his 80s-ness, if you will, even though he was probably born in, like, I don't know, 2000. He's like, how old is he? He's 21 now, so a little earlier than that, late 90s. But I don't know. This just screamed cherry pie to me. It's just the artwork. It's not necessarily the song itself. And but Ben's getting good. He's starting to grow into himself, I believe. Let's Omega.
Well, I think first of all, the guitarist kills it at the beginning and throughout the song. Very fun track, and lead vocalist has Ben. He has a lot of personality. I love when personality leads out through the record, and you could tell the artist is having fun while he's recording. That you know, makes the song last more, you know, for the listener. The chorus is catchy. I love it. The only caveat I would have is the better get your licks in. I feel like that could have been turned up a little more. Kind of just personal preference. It should have been a little louder. That's the only thing I could say that could make the song a little better, but great song.
Cool, man. I was looking forward to this album release, man. We've been following Ben for a couple of years now. And in college, he proved himself as a great mimic of the guitar heroes of the past. I mean, Slash, Van Halen,
Yeah.
Bob May, or I think Bob or Brian May. But anyway, I'm excited to hear this stuff because we've had chats in the past about the next step is creating your own style, your own sound in your playing, because he was always covering everyone else. And so, I mean, if you're fans of Guns N' Roses, Aerosmith, heard a lot of Aerosmith in this sound.
Yeah.
What else? Obviously Van Halen. That's all in. If you're fans of those bands, which I am from that era, this is like it's a revival, but it's original.
Things coming back around is what
I know, but it's original. That's what's so cool about it. So it sounds better.
But yeah, but the whole genre is a revival. Like you said, revival's coming back around just like fashion does. And, you know, every 30, 40 years, you get the not the same thing, but just sort of a reiteration of something that happened a long time ago. So,
right. But one more thing, Joe. So he's created his own style in this album. I was looking forward to this release. My favorite tune is King of Noise. I listened to the whole album, really digging it, full sound. He's actually, I actually like his voice, man. And when he comes on the show, I want to remember to talk about just where his head's at with lead singer, because he has a female lead singer on one of the songs. He has a guest lead singer on another song. It's almost like he's not sure if he wants to be the front man.
Yeah, he doesn't sing a lot on his stuff. I noticed he's always. I mean, it's like
good voice though. I mean, it was cool, wasn't it?
Like a Santana vibe where he kind of just play.
I liked it.
You know, he's the songwriter and the guy that plays all the music, but he has people that kind of take over the other stuff, and he just kind of plays. So,
yeah, I'd like to explore just that the path, the future path where he is the front man, and I mean it's the name of the band, the Cote band. Mm-hmm. But it seems like he might be reticent to be the lead singer, and I want to figure out why. So we'll get to the bottom of that.
Yeah, so he'll be a panel guest in October sometime. I don't know the exact date, but you can look out for it. So next artist, we've played this band before too. We got a lot of repeats coming through lately because we've been around for 3 years now. To be honest with you, that's pretty good. When is our anniversary? Is this month? I think actually our 3-year anniversary is this month. I don't know exactly what day. I'd have to look. Let's just say it was August 1st. Screw it. So happy anniversary, everybody. It's 3 years anniversary.
Hey.
Woohoo!
Where's the confetti?
Rob? Wait, man,
where's Rip Taylor when you need him?
Anyway, Fifth Dawn. We watched their video a couple weeks ago. This is a band from Australia. I'm really thinking heavily about having them on as featured artist. It's just a matter of a phone call and an email, which is kind of harder than it seems sometimes. This is their new song, I believe. It's Cold Outside. Let us know what you think in the comments. Share this video out, and we'll see you in a minute. Hit it, Rob. Indie Music Live, episode 136. We are an international music promotion company. If you need help promoting your music on the interwebs, come check us out. Prices are really cheap, cheap but quality. But check us out. We've been around for 3 years now, and we do reviews, social promo, SoundCloud promo, all kinds of new services. We have a video production service as well, which Dave has taken part of for his porn business. All right.
I was hoping you were going to feature that tonight. We can talk about that at the end if you guys want. I guess I'll just lead right into the critique on this off of that.
Oh, man.
Perfect segue, Joe. Thank you for that.
I'm Mr. Segue. That's what I like. I like doing segues that make absolutely no sense.
Just these brick wall segues. It's just. But anyway, the fifth dawn. I was thinking the Fifth Element there for a second. Great name, the Fifth Dawn. I like that. The Evanescence always comes to mind with the female lead vocal over hard rock type of sound. It's almost overstated, really. And hopefully a new reference can be, it's kind of like Fifth Dawn, because we need more of them. I'm tired of saying it's kind of like Evanescence and Heart. I've said that like 100 times, but so this was cool. I love this. A lot of things
100 times, Dave.
I know, but hey, man, there's viewers that will see this show where it's the first show they've ever seen. So you got to repeat stuff sometimes. So this, I was really digging that. I love the arpeggiation on top of this like really catchy beat. And what comes to mind is the song "Style" by Taylor Swift. I don't know if you guys can recall that, but it's just this really, really nice groove, man. It's just some arpeggiated notes going on behind this like boom, boom. It just, I love it. I really love it. And then there's this moment in the song about halfway through, I guess about a minute in, and she jumps like 12 octaves. You guys hear that? Holy crap. It's like, I'm like, holy cow. Kind of reminded me of Paramore in that sense. That was the song that Paramore broke out. I forgot the name of it, but she just displayed this crazy range, just blended up to these high notes. It reminded me of that experience where you're just listening and you just like turn your head like, Jesus, what the hell was that? She just went into the stratosphere with her range there. But I'm really digging it. I'm glad you're thinking about bringing them on the as featured artists, Joe. They well deserved. So Omega.
Yeah, the music. I always say a lot. The music and moans and tones at the beginning. I love when songs paint an atmosphere. They set the emotions of the song right off the bat, so you get engulfed in it. I really love that stuff. Powerful atmosphere. This song is a blockbuster track. I really loved it. I was gonna say reminiscent of Evanescence, their track for the Daredevil film. The female vocalist is amazing. Her voice matches the tone of the song, which is great. I love when songs build up to the chorus. I cannot. It's a pet peeve of mine when you feel like the song is building up to something climactic, and then it's a dud. But this one delivered. When she jumped up those octaves, it's like, yes, the song was already preparing me for it, and then she just stepped up. Very epic track. I love it. I love being a guest on here because I get to find new artists I get to follow. So
yeah, it's fun, isn't it?
Yeah,
you should be paying us, Omega. Jeez.
I know. I should be paying you. Where is your PayPal?
I mean, we're sending you like $3,500 just to be here. You should be paying us.
Exactly.
All right. Speaking of getting paid, Ed, how you doing? We got Ed Roman in the house. I'm gonna give Rob just a second here to switch over the shot. But we played Ed's music on here before. Ed is a really creative dude. He's up in Canada and he's working with the management company that we work with called MTS Management. Mike Stover, check him out. So we've watched this video before, Red Omen. But Ed, how you doing tonight, man?
Joe, I'm great, man. Thanks so much for having me on. Dave, Rob, everybody. Omega, nice to meet you, my friend.
Pleasure. Nice to meet you.
So this is where I have all the featured artists give their what I call elevator pitch, so I'm sure you've done this sort of thing before. So just tell everybody who you are, we know who you are, just to introduce you, but what you're doing with your music, just a brief, history, and then tell us about Red Omen, and then we'll listen to that. We'll come back after that and get deeper with Dave.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm a singer-songwriter from Ontario, Canada. What do you want me to say? I grew up too close to the hydro wires. It was a time when we had 3 TV stations, and the imagination could run wild. I grew up in a farm country. It was more like a Norman Rockwellian existence, as far
Where
as
the water runs clear.
And crayfish, and some beer in the creek, and tractor races, and trying to ride cattle through hay chutes, and doing a lot of fun stuff. Just and I think that songwriting for me and storytelling, even as a kid, was like paramount. My grandparents came from the old country, so telling stories about where we came from and different things that happened was part of family allegory. And then I fell in love with people that created that mood by telling stories. Like Tom Waits was one of my favorite, to sort of conjure this sort of element of like everything in the song. You can feel like you're there under the bridge on the rusty tricycle, swilling from an old tin cup, singing some song, because of that imagery that he's using in the music. So I like that.
Cool. So Red Omen, tell us about Red Omen real quick, and then we'll take a snippet of that.
It's an anagram of my own name. I was pegged and labeled a dyslexic as a kid. As I've grown older, I realized that dyslexia is actually a gift. I wanted to somehow circumnavigate the whole issue, and writing a lyric tune like Red Omen seemed to do that. Now reaching out, the song has turned into a full-length animation video, working with Nelson Diaz from New York City. And Nelson's career is extensive, and some of the people he's worked with is amazing. But now this has become sort of the figurehead for this national fundraising campaign for tutoring programs for kids that can't actually afford to go to these dyslexia programs, that the Davis method is in the US and positive dyslexia here in Canada. So
very cool. So we'll check that out. We'll come back and we'll get deeper with Dave and find out more. Let us know what you think in the comments. Share this video out. This is Ed Roman with Red Omen. I'm
Red Roman.
Dyslexic or something. I don't know. So,
Ed Omen.
Hey, did I ever tell you that I grew up with Red Omen? And boy, was he a neat kid. He had all sorts of really cool things to play with, like a plutonium spaceship lunchbox and a bathtub full of Lego. And I didn't believe you when somebody said that he fled with Jimi Hendrix to a UFO-type base camp up on Machu Picchu. Up on Machu Picchu. I said, excuse me, it's not my fault. He's playing the crime so he can't get caught. I said, excuse me, I must confess. Well, give me 2 words. Well, in my defense, laughing mad. I'm laughing mad. Laughing mad. There's a red hot stove down in Pittsburgh, going out hard like a cherry pie. Call me a fibber, call me a liar, say it to my face, like a cross between Benjamin Franklin and Ian Pace. And I didn't believe the man from MI6 living out in the sticks, who souped up his side by side like Evel Knievel, just like Evel Knievel. I said, excuse me, it's not my fault. He's playing the crowd.
Deeper with Dave. Deeper with Dave. Oh, yeah.
Sponsored by...
Ed, thank you for the sentimental journey back to college, man. The sound I'm feeling here, I'm thinking Blues Traveler. I'm feeling Fish. I'm feeling some, what else? Toad the Wet Sprocket. I mean, those are the bands that were just playing in everybody's room in college. Doors open, you walk by. One of those bands is playing at some time. This is the flavor, man. And I'm guessing we're probably not too far away in age. So is that a conscious reference, man? Like, do you ever, were you trying to write like them, or does that just kind of seep through maybe from the past?
Well, that's a great question. And I mean, we're all defined by our influences. And at the same time, they are our limitations, you know. For sure. I mean, one of the first Fish albums I bought was Hunta and Nectar, and geez, I followed the band for a little while, went to a whole bunch of shows, but that's, you know, that also came out of my love for the Grateful Dead and a lot of music from the 1960s, even people like Dylan, and there was sort of a different perspective about music because I also come from an improvisational background, and Fish have that aspect inside of the construction of the music. And for me, I want to leave that envelope there for interpretation. When we play that tune live, there's a lot of other things that occur. It doesn't sound exactly like it does on the record on purpose because, yes, here's the framework, the lyrics are there, the guitar parts, the bass parts, but ultimately I want to leave that open because you never know. Inside of those moments when you are sort of pushing that envelope, new things start to emerge.
Yeah, absolutely. So for people living under a rock the past 30 years or something, the band Fish pretty much took over the reins from the Grateful Dead in terms of this massive touring experience. They just created this culture very similar to what the Grateful Dead did 30 years before them, like that long of a run. And just kind of this hippie type of college rock type of experience, a lot of tie-dyes, a lot of lot of other stuff floating in the air.
But yeah, it's true. I mean, I get it, and it was part of my college time frame. But it's funny. I also was into a lot of African music. Femi Kuti, Keziah Jones. I played in an African band for a long time. When Paul Simon released Rhythm of the Saints,
I was going to say there's some Paul Simon in here too, man. I hear it.
I love that sort of world interpretation inside of music. And you might hear themes of it and stuff that I do, but it's not all that. Like, because it also has, if you listen to the Telecaster guitar parts and stuff that are in there, they're very country-like. So in a way, it's kind of an amalgam of things. But Fish do that. The Dead have done that. Jazz music is about that.
I'm glad you brought that up, though, because I always try and go as far back as possible when finding the roots of the reference. And Paul Simon was where it started with your sound. It really did. There a few of his tunes, you can hear some pieces in this song here. But interesting. So you had like a Ginger Baker experience. You were into the African drum beats and everything. I mean, did you ever travel down there?
Well, I played Jocko Baku and Kalimba. We went right across in Canada and different parts of the United States for almost 3 years. And a lot of the work that I was doing was with percussionists from Kenya and Liberia, and Jocko himself was from Cameroon. So I really, that's the thing about that too. Even when we were playing shows, that jamming and sort of figuring things out and feeling each other and feeling off of that and giving and taking was a big part of my learning experience as a young player playing with that kind of music.
Yeah, man, just reading your bio, you have this worldly experience, not just with music. You're more into the humanitarian aspects. I want to make sure that we cover this piece about... You traveled to Jamaica for, let me read this here, much needed humanitarian aid to the island while shooting the video for Jamaica. Just speak for a minute or so on that experience, man.
Hey, Jamaica's an amazing place. Hadn't been anywhere in years because we worked like vacation. when we got to the island, we met a lot of amazing people. Never ever went back to a resort again because real culture happens outside of those walls. And I wanted to pay homage with a song that I wrote for the island with an old school feel, you know, has a heavy one drop concept in it. But at the same time, most of the people I know, their work from night to day and they struggle. And we started sending shipping barrels of materials, either from dollar stores or things that people gave to us at our cost, so that they could be opened at a local church that's down there and people could utilize it. I mean, old photocopiers, clothing, kids' shoes, toothpaste, books, you name it. And it's just kind of a way of giving back without having to be part of an organization.
I love hearing that stuff, man. I hope and dream that's going to be the later years of my life, is just doing that type of stuff. Honestly, man, I look forward to it.
It's like Samuel L. Jackson when he's talking, you know, with Travolta at the restaurant. He's like, no, I'm just going to wander the earth like in fucking Kung Fu, you know, trying to help people. I always see music as being a vehicle for that. And when it does happen, whether it's like with Farm Aid or it doesn't matter, to me, it's like, yeah, that's the antithesis of why we do what we do.
It is, man. It really is. I was almost going to say, now let's get to the really important stuff with the whole Jamaican stuff, but music is important too. But Ed, it's time to move on. Unfortunately, we're going to hopefully have you back as a critic on a future show. But the website is edroman.net, just how it sounds. Giant tomatoes floating through the room here.
Yes, this tomato is almost as big as my head. It's huge. Right? Food culture.
That's a perfect transition into our next tune. I'm not sure why, but
speaking of tomatoes.
Yeah, speaking of tomatoes, we got another song to play here. Ed, have a beautiful evening.
You guys too. Thank you so much for having me. Great pleasure.
Yeah, so this the song is Tragedy by Eric Val. Tragedy of the Tomato. Cue it up, Rob. Thank you. Right there. That was Tragedy by Eric Val. I want to be respectful here. I just feel like there might be a personal tragedy behind this song right here. So I want to respect that. I mean, death, not my favorite subject to talk about, but perhaps it was just about death in general, with, as you can see, the imagery there with all the pictures on the walls of some famous people who have passed away. So I appreciate that. I respect that. this sound here, like I was feeling it. I mean, it was kind of stripped down, but I was feeling the mood of it. And at the end of the day, though, I guess the projection of this sound, I was feeling hard rock, man.
Kind of a Stain sort of thing again.
Yeah, I was feeling. Exactly, Joe.
Kind of, where they like have a heavy sort of feel, but it's not like it's not hard rock at the same time.
It just felt like a demo for an acoustic demo for a huge hard rock sound.
Sure.
And I was it's ripe for these big buildups to have these monster kick-ins to really play on the dynamic and the power in the lyrics. So that's an opportunity.
It's kind of like waiting for the happy ending. Oh, Omega.
Yeah. So we're up to Omega with his desk full of lotion.
Right. Oh, wow. Hey, guys. I feel on the technical side, I feel like the vocalist, he was struggling a little bit. There was some tone issues with his singing. The song has a good structure to it, though. The musicians take the song down the right path to convey the emotions that the song, is trying to project. But the singer wasn't really too polished in his performance. But I mean, kind of like you, I could hear his heart behind it. Like there's more to the story that meets the eye. But yeah, I agree with you, Dave. If it had a dynamic ending to it, change the beat up, it could have made the song more dynamic. And it's just the singer. Yeah, he sung his heart out.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of good elements to this song. I just think it needs a little push. I think it just needs that little step up, to really get it there. So, Omega, so you said you're going back to school tomorrow. What else are you doing?
Yeah, bro.
Man? Can you update us on what Game Breaks is doing?
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're working on Volume 3 and just loving it, man. Connecting with DJs, and right now it's the grind. The stuff that separates you from other artists. How hard you grind and push for your music to be on, radio stations, and trying to get some more licensing opportunities. Just had a wonderful summer, writing for an anime and writing for a TV show.
Nice.
So right now we're just gearing up to push really hard for the fall season.
Sweet. So Dave likes grinding. Dave, any last words tonight?
I think that was perfectly stated, Joe. Nice summary right there. Yeah.
All right. So anybody needs masseuse in the Phoenix area, Dave's your man. He's got the background to prove it. Rob Hicks and Hixvideo, thanks for pushing those buttons and making us look really, really hot, especially Dave. And if you need professional live streaming on the internet, just hit up Rob Hicks, Hixvideo, Hixvideo, all over the place. Gentlemen, thank you for hanging out with me. You always make my Tuesday night the best. We'll see you later. Peace out.